I'm done with it. And when you miss the sale, you go from happy to sad. I didn't tell them to go to McDonald's. I just told them to go down to Fellowship Hall and come on back. Okay? But I'm going to show you something. All right, just go out there and see where they went. I told them to take them to the Fellowship Hall. Man. Danny, I should have stood in adult leadership there. Are they coming back today? Come on, bro.
Laura said she want to go to McDonald's. Laura want to go to McDonald's.
Come on. I said both of y'all, come on here. All right. We're going to do a little interview here, okay? All right, I want you to stand right here. I want you to stand right here. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your graduation. All right, next question. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, okay? All right, do you love Jesus?
I do.
You do? Okay, that's good. Do you know Brother Steve over here? You do? Brother Steve? Do you, can you tell the story, or do you remember the story about taking Brother Steve a blueberry cobbler one time? Where he said something about he wanted a blueberry cobbler. You know something about that? Can you tell something about that?
Yeah.
Can you add to that, Brother Steve? About the blueberry cobbler?
Off the chain.
Is it off the chain?
Did you see Laura, the more I talked to her, she started kind of bubbling up. And she bubbled up from a frown to a smile. Joy is in the Lord. So she studies the Word every day. And you know Steve, he sat there very somber for just a second till I asked him about that blueberry cobbler. And then somehow that joy just bubbled up out there. Like the blueberry cobbler went down and the joy come up. Steve's blessed with joy too. As a lot of our people here, and we blessed to have the people in this church with the joy that they have. You know, joy is an emotion that lives within you. Spring up. We're blessed in this church to have a lot of joy because not long you get to talk to a group of guys around here, you're gonna be laughing before it's over with. Same way with women. Somebody's gonna crack a joke. You know that joy enables you to enjoy all that God has blessed you with. Well, He didn't bless me. Yeah, He did. Give me a good spouse, give me a good family. Bless me with a food. I don't think there's nothing wrong with eating, having a good time with eating. I know we men get together, we talk about having a biscuit, something like that. Joy enables you to celebrate when people celebrate, just like Lauren's graduation. We're going to celebrate with her because that's very much accomplishment in her life. We have joy because we fellowship. We saw that on the retreat. You women do the same thing. Y'all have joy when y'all fellowship. You share with others the joys and sorrows of life. You go through the experience with them. Romans 12:15 says, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Love, which we have an abundance in this church, brings joy. But love, now listen to me closely here, what I'm fixing to say. Love, I can say I love you all day long. Love is not love until you give it away.
Amen.
Until you show it. It's so easy to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Or I'll pray for you and walk away and forget. Love is not love until you give it away. All right, I'm going to ask that first question one more time, then we're going to question two. Do you have joy in your life? Do you have Jesus in your life? All right, we're going to the second question. Does your life bring joy to the ones in your life? your spouse, your children, your family, your friends,
Yes.
your co-workers. Oh, we're getting close to home here now, okay? You're
Yes.
picking on them, okay? Proverbs 10:7. I love Proverbs. There's a lot of good things in Proverbs. It says, the memory of the righteous will be a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. And in Psalms 112:6-7 says, a righteous man will not be shaken. He will be remembered forever. Now, I get to tell a couple of stories. And y'all know I'm good on stories. I like to have stories. I think that was one of the advice my son gave to Sheila when she was speaking. He said, just tell a couple of stories and tie it all together and you'll have it. So, a little bit more than that, but I paraphrased it and I gave you a short version. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories about grandchildren. If you want to see a smile on a face, on a grandparent's face, you just start talking about them grandchildren. They'll light up like a Christmas tree. Oh, they'll say, how about your grandchildren? How they? Oh, I'm glad you asked. And they just have a different demeanor, you know. But you know, our grandchildren. You go around the house, you see the pictures, start to sit down in the chair, and you see a blue lizard that one of my grandkids left in my chair. You know, you just be surprised how much joy that little blue lizard brought back to me, because as soon as I saw that lizard, I knew it was Caden of Noah had been in my chair. And so I just sent him over and just left him sitting there, and he just as good as having my grandkid there. But let me tell you about a story. There was a little boy and his grandpa. And the little boy said, Grandpa, will you make a sound like a frog? And the grandpa, he was kind of a rough old boy. He said, I can sound like a frog. No, man, I don't have time to do that. Well, the little grandboy, he would not give up. He said, Grandpa, would you make a sound like a frog? He said, son, I don't know what a frog sounds. I can't make a sound like a frog. Well, the little boy, he was persistent. He would not give up. He said, Grandpa, will you please make a sound like a frog? He said, okay, I'll make a sound like a frog. He said, but let me ask you one question. He said, why in the world do you want me to make a sound like a frog? He said, Grandma said, when you crow, we all go to Six Flags. You gonna load all that and go to Six Flags when you crow. That changed his perspective. Let me tell you a story, and Danny, this is a true story. I know this is a true story, okay? This is about one of our little grandboys. As y'all know, when we leave here, we generally go over to Chad and Carrie's, and we hibernate over there for a couple hours before we come back for the evening service. And Carrie was recovering from her surgery and everything. She was in bed, and Caden and Noah, they were pretty active that day, so Chad had to figure out what to do with it. So we got over there, and we had no more got in the door and sat down. And Sheila was in there doing something in the bathroom she normally does, combing her hair, doing something, I don't know. So Caden comes walking in there with a sand dial.